Okay, so I'd like to welcome everybody here today for the 2021 East Grand Forks Heritage Village Festival. The Heritage, this is our first Heritage Weekend for 2 years. So it's wonderful to be back again. We kind of done what I call a soft opening because, well, first of all, we just don't have the manpower we used to have before. So if there's anybody out there who'd like to become a Heritage member and volunteer for this weekend, it'd be absolutely wonderful. We can find something for everybody to do. So it doesn't matter how young or how old, we can always find something for you to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the flag. So who we have presenting the flag is going to be the VFW and the American Legion of East Grand Forks, UND, ROTC, and Honor Guard. So they'll be doing the flag. So if you gentlemen are ready, maybe please stand if you would. And then right after the flag goes up, then we have Misty Coop that's going to be playing To the Color, right? And she'll be playing that. So.
Arm.
Excellent job, people. You do a great job for us. Okay, now we'll have a little speech from our honorable mayor who lives and breathes East Grand Forks.
Morning, everybody. I just came from the 1078 Law Enforcement 5K. Takes me a little longer to finish those than it used to. But don't worry, I'm very organized. What is this event again? Oh, that's right, Heritage Days. Thank you to everybody involved so far. I love the patriotic start to our program here. It's really great to be part of it. And they said I could do it because we're at least 3 years away from my next election, so it's not campaigning. Maya Angelou is quoted as saying, "I have great respect for the past. If you don't know where you've come from, you don't know where you're going." For us to fully appreciate the quality of life that we have right here, right now, it's very important that we consider all the hard work that went into carving out a living on this same land all through these years, over 100 years ago. The mission of the Heritage Foundation is to preserve the history of the northern Red River Valley. The Heritage Foundation brings history to life with tours of pioneer buildings, hands-on learning, educational programs, and tours and all the rest. So representing the upper Midwest from the 1800s through the early 1900s. So here's a little trivia for you. Most of you know some of this. What year was East Grand Forks founded? Wow. 1887. What was the population of East Grand Forks in the year 1890? That would be a hard one to know. It was 795 people. But we just got word from the 2020 census just in the last few days, and East Grand Forks grew by 575 people in the last 10 years, from 8601 to 9176. That is good growth for a community of this size. As many of you know, what spurred the Western advance of people coming over into this area in the first place was the Homestead Act of 1862. President Abraham Lincoln signed that into law on May 20th of that year. Under that act, citizens and future citizens were allowed to get up to a quarter section of land, 160 acres, free of charge, so long as they lived on it, improved it, and paid a small registration fee. At current prices for farmland in Minnesota, the value of that quarter section would be around $720,000. Just think, if you had a young family coming over here with that kind of start to get them going, what a great start that was, and what a great opportunity for them to come and settle this great land. So back to the 1880s. Have you ever wondered about, well, how much was food back then? What did you pay for some common food items? Turns out that a pound of rye flour back then was about 5 cents. And a pound of beef for soup was about 6 cents. A pound of granulated sugar was about 11 cents. And you could rent a 4-bedroom tenement for $7.99 a month. Now board, if you wanted to take out a board contract and have some food, for men it was $4.75 a month, and for women $3. That makes sense. Back then the average, whoa, how's that a bad thing? Yeah. Back then the average wage was just a little over $1 a day, and the average work day was 10 to 12 hours. The average work week, 60 to 70 hours. And if you do the math real quick, it comes out to about 10 cents an hour, or $6 or $7 a week back then. If you're going to build a house, just, hew out some logs from the woods and build yourself a house. And that house was going to be pretty spacious, 12 feet by 14 feet, log cabin. It would take anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 hours for one person to do it with all hand tools. That's about 1 year full-time work to build your log cabin, plus or minus. Told you I was organized. Now let's think about technology back in the day. Any idea when the first tractor was invented? It's roughly the year 1868. It was steam powered. The most powerful, or the most common steam tractor back then was the Garrett 4CD. How about the first gas powered tractor? What year would that have been? 1892. Late 1800s, they had a gas powered tractor. It was in Clayton County in northeast Iowa. It was created by John Froelich. How about the first John Deere tractor? I bet you somebody knows that. 1911. It was in the Dane all-wheel drive. It was an all-wheel drive tractor with one rear wheel. How about, for the first diesel tractor, we have to jump over to Europe. It was over in Germany. In the year 1922, it was the Benz Sending with the S6 motor plow. It had one driving wheel. Okay, how about combines? Anybody interested in combines? The big old machines that take the weed off the field? I know I am. And you'll see why in a minute. So now, as far as I can tell, the combine was invented about 1834. So back in the early 1800s. But that early combine had to be pulled by about 16 horses or more. Pulling a combine with horses. Go figure. Today, as far as I can tell, the biggest combine is the Claas Lexion 8900. Well, this changes so fast. If you check online, biggest combine, a whole bunch of different ones pop because it's changing that quickly. Well, that Lexion 8900 weighs over 49,000 pounds. It has a 790 horsepower engine. It can hold over 500 bushels of grain. And the widest combine header, that big front thing that brings it into the front, it's about 60 feet wide, the biggest one in the world. And by all means, that could have changed, but it's going to be close to that. Modern combines now can commonly harvest over 1,000 bushels per hour, and the record is over 3,000 bushels per hour. Real quick now, as we think about harvesting wheat, you take a look and just imagine it's the year 1830, and you're going to put in a wheat crop and harvest it. About how many people hours does it take to put in enough wheat to harvest 100 bushels? Okay, so you're going to plant it, and you're going to cultivate it, and you're going to harvest it and bring it in. About how many hours does it take to bring that 100 bushels? It comes off of 5 acres, by the way. 300 labor hours. 300 hours of people time to bring in that 100 bushels.
Mayor Gander,
Yes,
are we supposed to be taking notes? Is this going to be on the test?
that is on the test. Yes.
Oh, no.
Always a heckler in the crowd. And this time it happens to be my oldest sister. Oh. And she's pretty smug, but she comes from potato country out in Boise, Idaho. Grew up here though, graduated right here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Now as we're coming on through, in 1890 we were down to 40 or 50 people hours from 300. In the year 1930 we were down to 15 to 20 people hours. In 65, 5 labor hours. Today we're under 3 hours of people time to bring in 100 bushels of wheat. From 300 to 3. Do you suppose that's part of why our food is still pretty affordable? I mean, it's gone up in price because everything has to, but my goodness, the efficiency of today's farmers is ridiculous. It's amazing. It's exactly why we enjoy the abundant food supply that we do and don't have to break the bank in order to enjoy the food that we get. Don't worry, we're almost done. I find this stuff really interesting. I could have sat for more than 10 hours just playing around getting this stuff together. So circling back to the goals, let's go back one more time to the goals of the Heritage Foundation. They want to preserve the history of the Red River Valley, which, by the way, who is the Heritage Foundation? It's us. It's all of us. And so we want to bring back the past life to the present with historic buildings, food, customs, clothing, household items, technology, and all of the good things from the past. Bring them to today and at least kind of get to reenact what was it like in 1887, a little before, a little after, and then coming on forward to today. We want to come in with historical programming. So if you have some acting skills and you want to have a part of historical programming, we certainly have opportunity for that, from the clothing to the household items and all the rest. And so we invite also community members and organizations to come and enjoy the grounds and all the features all year long. They have features here all year long, programs, different groups come in and enjoy. So thanks again to everyone for being here, and enjoy your time today and this weekend at Heritage Village. Thanks.
Thanks again, Mayor. All I can say is I'm glad it was only a 5-minute speech and not a 10-hour one. That's what happens when you become mayor, you know. Everybody picks on you and gives you a lot of static, right? He does a good job. He handles it well.